Hi everybody. So I have officially completed the Metabolic Reset program and I wanted to come back and share my results and talk to you guys about the process. So prior to experiencing the Metabolic Reset, I honestly felt like I couldn't lose weight and that I was going to have chronic health issues forever. So I started going to the gym and I was just focusing on the gym and working out, and I got a personal trainer. And I was in the gym for about 2 years, and I worked with a personal trainer for about 6 months. And while that was helpful to teach me about the gym and how to structure my exercises, I only lost maybe like 10-15 pounds, and he wasn't targeted at my overall health. It wasn't targeted at my diet. It was just, this is how you work out and this is how you structure everything. We're not going to talk about your health. Good luck. It was helpful, so I can incorporate that information now, but it wasn't what I needed and what my body needed. So it wasn't ultimately the solution to me. So ultimately, when I tried this approach and the Metabolic Reset program, it was very, very, very different. It's all encompassing. It focuses on my health as a whole. There's modules that you go through, which were very helpful for me because I love to learn and I could take them at my own pace and I can go back and I can look at them. So it was super great referencing. And overall, it was definitely the one-on-one coaching and the one-on-one feedback. Nikki was able to look at everything that I was doing. We were able to sync everything up, and so she could just immediately see, how is my sleep and what am I eating and how am I exercising and what is my stress like, and I could log everything, and she was able to pick and point things out and tell me what I needed to do differently or tips or tricks, and it was amazing. I mean, the wealth of knowledge that Nikki and her team has is amazing and 100% got me through the whole program. And definitely one of the things that made the biggest difference was all of the genetic testing that I completed. So I did do genetic testing and food testing, and that gave me such great insight into how my body is wired, which is going to be different for everybody and not something that we can, just immediately tell by looking at each other. So I have very personalized insights to tell me what I'm predisposed to and what my body responds to differently based on my genetic makeup. So that is something that I can use throughout the rest of my life, and that's not going to change just from day to day. So in terms of my results, I am done with the full 72 days, and I am down 24 pounds. I am down 3 pant sizes, and one of the most important things to me was that my sleep has drastically improved. So prior to this, my sleep was absolutely horrific. I had really severe sleep apnea. I was using an appliance and I was using a CPAP machine, and I was still not getting the results that I needed. My deep sleep was absolutely horrible and I was functioning like a zombie. I can successfully say that I have over doubled the amount of deep sleep and REM sleep that I was getting prior to this program. And more importantly, I know the connections now. I know that for me, sleep is heavily connected to my stress levels and how active I am and what I'm eating, and just following my day-to-day routines. So I know my body and I know what's best for me and how I'm going to function, and I never would have found that information out unless I went through a program like this and the way that it was structured. Even if I did it on my own, I never would have had the insights and the knowledge that Nikki has provided to me, so I can understand the correlations, and so I can navigate things better. So it's just been absolutely amazing, and I'm so grateful. And the biggest takeaway for me is that I have these tools now for life. So if I need to repeat the program for whatever reason, I can do that. But I will definitely implement all of the skills and the tools and the resources that I have learned throughout the rest of my life. And for me, that's priceless and cost less than any surgery that I would have needed, or any medication that I would have needed. Including, and part of my results is I've gotten off some of my medications. I do have some chronic health issues, and while I know that they may not completely 100% go away, I've been able to decrease off of some of my medication, which is a huge win for me and one of the goals that I really wanted to do. Kind of along with that is the intensity of my flare-ups is nowhere near the intensity that it was prior to me eating correctly and losing weight and sleeping correctly, and my stress management and my mental health, and overall it's a whole package. It was a huge perspective shift and mindset shift for me, that it's not just losing weight. It's not just eating healthy. It really is a lifestyle change, and it's educating yourself and really shifting into that perspective, which was huge for me. Since I've done the Metabolic Reset program, I've had a lot of changes in my life. Like I just mentioned, my view and my perspective has really shifted, really onto like a healthy, holistic lifestyle, especially on stress. I really was not that great at identifying when I'm stressed and what that means for me and my body, and that's something that I'm going to continue to work on throughout my life. But I really have been able to identify, okay, this is what it looks like for me. And the Aura Ring has been huge. I will continue to use this. I used it prior to the program, but I didn't use it in the same way. So now that I am aware of different connections in my body and how stress and food reactions and over-exercising and all of these things present in my body, my Aura Ring has really kind of synced up with that, and it's really good at identifying these things, and I've added tags in my Aura Ring, and so it pulls up different connections and correlations, and I am just so much more aware than I was. And we don't know until we know things, right? But now that I know, I am living my life completely different than I was. Additionally, my mental health has really improved. I do have clinical anxiety, which I am medicated for, but I have actually gone down on my medication because I feel so much better. My anxiety is not as high as it was, which is really huge for me. So that's something that I'm going to continue to honor and continue to work on. But I definitely noticed a correlation when I ate a food that my body did not like. I was super anxious throughout that day. And the following days as my body processed it. So this really has been huge from whole body and mind perspective and approach. My confidence has also gone up a lot, not just with the weight loss, but in terms of how I value myself and how I honor myself. It really, like I said, it has been a mindset shift, and I know that if I eat an overindulgent food, it is going to harm me in a way of, if I eat too much of that, it's going to harm me in the way of I'm not going to feel as good. I'm not going to sleep as good. So I really am honoring my body in a whole different way. I also have this perspective now that I really feel like I can heal myself in terms of my chronic health issues, that I don't, have to be highly medicated for the rest of my life, and that me and my choices and my lifestyle is going to be key to how I heal myself and the direction that I am going to take in the future. Another thing that was pretty big for me was after this program, I feel like the food noise is gone. I know that that is a term that kind of, our society uses a lot, especially with people who are taking weight loss medication like GLP-1s, which there's nothing wrong with that. However, for me and my lifestyle, I worried that that would just be a band-aid and it wouldn't help me fix my lifestyle and my choices. So this was a much better choice for me versus taking a GLP-1, because I didn't think that I was going to actually change my habits and my routines, and I wouldn't have had all of the resources that I have now if I just took a GLP-1. And a lot of people say when you take a GLP-1 that the food noise is gone, meaning, you know, I'm not constantly thinking about food and what I'm going to eat next, and then it's not running my thoughts. And I've heard a lot of people say that when you take a GLP-1 that the food noise goes away, and then when you stop taking the GLP-1 that it comes back. Well, for me, I feel like the food noise is gone. I mean, once I started identifying the right foods to eat, you know, and I completed the release phase, I completed the maintenance phase, I feel like the food noise isn't there for me, you know, and I'm done with the maintenance phase, and I am continuing to live my life with these, you know, with these lifestyle changes. And so the food noise isn't there for me anymore, which is pretty huge for me. I also identified that I did a lot of emotional eating, which was, I think, something that Nikki and I worked on a lot. And so that isn't there for me. You know, some days it is there for me if I have a hard day, but I have the knowledge and the tools to deal with it now in a different way than I was dealing with it. The best part of working together with Nikki and her team was definitely that she had the confidence that I could do it. And, you know, I had the drive and I had the desire to do it. But in the beginning, I didn't necessarily think that I had the confidence to do it. And she gave me the confidence. Looking at her and her being like, psh, Katie's got this, Katie can do this, really helped co-regulate me and gave me the confidence that, you know, hey, she thinks that I can do this. So, you know, why not? Someone else thinks that I can do it, and I definitely can. So that was huge for me. In addition to the corrections that she gave me and the guidance that she gave me. And whenever I asked for something, the wealth and access to knowledge and resources was huge. So if she didn't know something, she said, you know what, let me dig into it and I will be right back. And she did. She's always given me just such great resources and direction to go in. And I have the confidence knowing that her and I have a partnership that I can come back to her in the future if I need anything, and she would be there for me, you know, including if I felt like I needed to go through the program again, she would be there, you know, to help me and encourage me. So it's been absolutely amazing. Another one of the things that I felt was huge is that this program wasn't overly focused on weight loss and counting calories. It was focused on my health as a whole, and it was focused on who I am as a person and my lifestyle and my habits and my stress and my whole metabolic system. It felt very personalized to me, and special and unique in the way that she cared about me and she cares about my success and how I'm doing and how I'm taking care of myself. And I definitely couldn't find that in a GLP-1, and I couldn't really find that anywhere else. So this was a super great program. There's a super great community of people who you get connected to who are currently going through the program or going through the program, you know, with you or have gone through the program. And you get to see them, you know, every Monday in groups if you're able to attend, or you can watch the videos. And that was just, you know, another huge part, knowing that I'm not alone. In addition to Nikki and her team, there are other people who are going through this and have tried this, and it works, and they have huge results as well. It's also been really cool to see the different individualization of everybody's results. Not everybody's body is the same. Our genes are not the same. Our lifestyles are not the same. So it's been great to really see, you know, oh, hey, she has been able to achieve this. I've been able to achieve this. Here's how we can encourage each other and keep making goals and keep working on this lifestyle shift together. So overall, this has been such a unique experience for me, and something that I 100% will move forward with all of this knowledge and all of this resources. And this has been an irreplaceable experience for me. I'm walking away not only with such huge results for my health, which, you know, was one of my biggest goals for me, was really focusing on my chronic health issues. But, you know, I'm walking away with a physical change and confidence that I'm going to keep going, and that, There's no stopping me now, and I feel super good. And yeah, this whole experience has been amazing. So thank you guys for coming along with me, and I hope that you consider looking into this and making lifestyle changes for yourself and investing in yourself. I think our culture invests in ourselves after it's way too late, and after you have to get on medications and have surgeries and you have all these ailments that you need to fix. And it's time that we invest in ourselves before then, and we stop these problems from occurring. So thank you guys so much for listening. Bye.